Welcome to this video, where we'll explore a fascinating problem that can arise when trying to place elements in a list table. Specifically, we're dealing with a scenario where n successive elements can be placed on the same column. This might seem like a simple task at first glance, but as we dive deeper, you'll see why it's an interesting challenge. Imagine having a program that needs to efficiently arrange items within a table, while adhering to certain rules. Understanding how to tackle this problem is crucial for developers and anyone interested in computer science or logic puzzles. Today, we're going to break down the key aspects of this issue, walk you through the reasoning step by step, and outline the essential points to remember. To start solving this problem, let's first consider what it means for n successive elements to be placed on the same column in a list table. Essentially, we're looking at how to organize items within a structure where certain constraints apply. This is not just about throwing elements into a grid. There's logic involved. Think of it like trying to pack boxes into a truck. If you have multiple small boxes that can fit together perfectly on one row without wasting space, that's efficient. But if each box has specific requirements or dimensions, suddenly the task becomes more complex. You need a strategy to ensure everything fits according to the rules. In our scenario, we're working with a table where certain conditions dictate how elements are placed. For instance, what happens when two items can't be on the same column due to their characteristics? How do you then decide which item goes first, or if they should be split across different columns? One approach is to think of this problem as a sequencing challenge. The order in which you place these elements matters significantly. By considering each element's properties and how it interacts with others, you can develop an algorithmic way of solving the placement puzzle. For example, imagine a simple rule set where certain colors can't be next to each other on the same column. You'd have to implement logic that checks for color compatibility before placing each item. This is just one layer. Adding more rules or constraints makes the problem increasingly complex, but also interesting from a programming perspective. To summarize, solving the problem of placing elements in a list table when n successive elements can be placed on the same column requires 1. Understanding constraints, recognizing and applying the specific rules governing how elements interact with each other within the table. 2. Sequencing logic, developing an order or sequence for placing elements based on their properties and the constraints provided. 3. Algorithmic thinking, approaching the problem from a programming perspective where efficiency and logic dictate the steps taken to solve it. In solving problems related to element placement in tables with specific constraints, not only challenges our logical reasoning, but also prepares us for more complex programming tasks. This video aimed to provide a clear overview of how to tackle such issues by breaking them down into manageable parts and applying algorithmic thinking. If you have any questions or need further clarification on any point, please don't hesitate to ask in the comments below. Your engagement helps create a community where we can all learn together. If this video was helpful, consider liking it and subscribing for more content that explores programming, puzzles, and logic challenges. Until next time,